How's the royal family? I pray that everyone is doing well. Well, my royal family, y'all can see that this is a long video, and I have did some very deep research this morning and found out some interesting things that I was not aware of. Okay, I've been saying to the royal family, now this is all about Botham Jean. You already see his picture there, excuse me. But I have been saying to the royal family that we are in the middle of an election season. And in this murder of Botham Jean, some of the things or the moves that are being made is out of order. And there have been many people protesting, and there have even been lawyers interviewed saying, what the hell is they doing down there in Dallas? This is what they, unquote, normally do. So I focused on this DA, and many of us was turned off about that dog and pony show she had the family all back there, you know, just standing back there, just getting shitted on, but they was being used for a reason, and y'all gonna see why. And remember when I did that video with this DA, Faith Johnson, you know, it seemed like for damn 10 minutes she was introducing people, because I said she act like she receiving an award. Well, what I did not know, my royal family, is that she is trying to hold on to her job. So check this out. So I found out back in December 2016, Governor Greg Abbott appointed her that position because the other DA had some deep mental health issues and had to be hospitalized on 3 occasions. So what I also found out is Faith Johnson is a Republican. Now, it doesn't matter to the royal family at all if you're a Republican, Democratic, or all those other parties that they have. They all one and the same. It's just how they deal with the royal family. We are not foolish. We are becoming more and more sharper about these politicians. So, what I'm getting ready to show the royal family is going to give a much bigger picture why not what it's what it seems, not what it seems like, what we are looking at, what they are blatantly doing in our face. So the chief of police, she's a puppet. We already know Faith Johnson is a puppet. But see, she's trying to maintain her position because now she's depending on for black folks and white folks to vote for her. And what she's doing is playing 2 ends against the middle, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Now check this out. Now this video that I'm getting ready to present was done August 30th, 2018, and the title here says, conviction was a huge feat, excuse me. Edwards attorney defends DA Faith Johnson. Now that's all about our royal son got killed by that cop, and he basically, as far as we concerned, got a slap on the wrist, 15 years, and we know he ain't gonna do the 15 years. So let me just get in here and play this because we got a lot of videos to watch today. Oh, come on. One more time. Let's get this right.
We have a district attorney who's accomplished something that had not been accomplished really in this country. But let's talk about just this county, okay? We're talking about it's been almost 50 years since we've had a police officer on duty be found guilty of murder. And this idea that this is the time to be divisive and jump on her, I don't believe that it's the time. And I don't believe that that's the way that we accomplish anything. I believe that if people have grievances, it's a matter of sitting down, talking to her, airing out your grievances, but trying to be divisive at such a monumental time in this country, I just don't think that it's the proper time. And I honestly don't think that it's the proper way to pay homage to the 15-year-old that we lost. Because now the narrative becomes she's not doing enough. She didn't get more than 15 years. All that kind of stuff. The reality is that she did more than anybody else has done in almost 50 years. You don't have to like her. But if you have a problem with her methods, you go, you sit down, you talk to her. But you don't sit here and act like she didn't do what DAs throughout this entire country are not doing. Because we've seen it time and time again. Alton Sterling's family may have gotten some money from the city, but they didn't get a conviction. Nobody went to prison. Walter Scott, they had a problem getting him convicted, so they took it up on the federal level. But let me tell you, it was a huge feat. And until you've been in a courtroom and know what it takes to actually try a case, it's hard for you to truly have a real perspective on how hard it is to work up a case. And they worked their butts off. I can't deny what they did. I can't deny that they didn't have all types of experts and things like that. But at the end of the day, the things that jurors pay attention to, we never know what they're going to pay attention to. Mm-hmm. They didn't send one note asking about an expert. But you better believe that they had the best experts in this country on that stand and give them their information. They didn't ask them questions about that. Instead, they asked questions about what Roy Oliver testified to. That's what they were asking about. So I'm just saying that it's just not the time. It's the time to build on what's happened. If there are other families that still deserve justice, then you gather those families and you sit down and you find out from them, why is it, if it would be a problem, to bring this case? Because you're complaining that you only got 15 years on this one, but guess what? Once again, Daryl already said it. We had, unfortunately, what we would consider a perfect victim. Because we know if somebody has been doing marijuana or anything, they disparage their character. You only got 15 years on an innocent 15-year-old child. What do you think is going to happen for the less than perfect victim?
Okay. Now, what's so deep about this, my royal family? You're gonna see how karma is working too with what's going down now in Dallas. So basically, they want to jump on black folks saying more could have been done. And it's all about persuasion. And you should have seen the sorry-ass attorney, a prosecutor that Faith selected to prosecute that case on Jordan Edwards. And the key word, it's not the time. Now, after she gave that speech, let's say less than a week, less than a week later, bam, now they got to deal with something even much deeper. And like I said, I did not realize that she was also running for office too. That's why she up here giving all these presentations and thank you for this and that. So basically, she wants to ride on the coattail as, I got y'all complaining Negroes 15 years. This ain't the time. Okay. Let's go on to the next video. All right. They're going to interview her here. We want to get it right. Dallas County DA asked for patience in Botham Jean's case. Now check this interview out.
We're also We're also watching what's happening in Dallas, where a 26-year-old black man named Botham was shot and killed in his apartment about 2 weeks ago by an off-duty white police officer. That officer, Amber Geiger, claims she entered his apartment by mistake and thought he was an intruder in her apartment. She lives in the same building. She fired 2 shots and is now facing manslaughter charges. The district attorney in Dallas, Faith Johnson, is taking up the case. She is Dallas County's first black female district attorney and was appointed in 2016 by Republican Governor Greg Abbott. She's also a Republican and is up for re-election in November against Democrat John Cruzo. Since taking office, she has indicted officers several times and even secured a rare murder conviction. Faith Johnson joins us now. Welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate being on your show.
Well, the day you were appointed as district attorney, you said you wanted to make the DA's office the people's office. How is prosecuting police officers part of that mission?
Only to say that we are here for justice, equality. So it's not that we are trying to prosecute police officers, say, hey, we're going to go out there and prosecute police officers. We're just simply saying we want to prosecute anybody who's going to break the law, whether you're a police officer or non-police officer. Because keep in mind, I love police. So I know it's always a reluctancy on behalf of district attorneys all over the country, rather. They do not want to do that. They feel hesitant because, a lot of times we do partner with the police. We do work different offenses together, but we have to still say we are not going to tolerate bad apples doing bad things to good people, innocent people. We can't tolerate that.
But is there anything unique about being a police officer, though, just because of the line of work that maybe they have argued successfully in the past that, well, I was worried for my safety, and so therefore I took this action where if I took that action, I would be charged, but maybe because they're a police officer, that they're not?
It's not so much because they're a police officer. There are certain cases where there's a good shoot, and that's what we usually call it here. It's a good shooting. So there are situations where you don't have that scenario where, wow, yeah, he couldn't help himself. He had to do what he had to do. And some of these cases aren't that. There are cases where an officer literally has broken the law. So those are the cases we're prosecuting. I think that's what people need to understand. Our commitment is to make certain that we bring all of the facts to the grand jury so the grand jury will know what really happened out there.
So how do you differ, do you think, from your predecessors in holding officers accountable when they use deadly force?
I don't know what their thoughts were. I just know in 45 years, no officer has actually been convicted of murder. My commitment to the people of Dallas County is that I came into this office with the thought that I just wanted to be fair. And you know something, Jeremy? I think everybody throughout the country wants that.
So how difficult of a case do you think you have when it comes to Amber Geiger, the officer who shot and killed Botham Jean in his apartment just recently?
Well, we obviously can't talk about the facts. And the only thing I can say to you is that we are investigating that case. It's still ongoing, and we haven't slowed up. We're looking at every conceivable possible thing that we can look at to be able to bring this case to the grand jury. And it won't be tomorrow, it won't be next week, because we say to people we want to get it right. We're not necessarily concerned about doing it quick, but we're concerned about making certain that it's right. Now, a lot of people are thinking that, oh, well, why didn't the DA go out there and arrest her? Well, what they need to understand is that we received this case from the Texas Rangers. We had nothing to do with their investigation as it relates to manslaughter, as whether or not they decided they need to arrest her before that, whether or not she ought to be fired. We have nothing to do with any of that.
When you look around the country outside of Dallas County, and you see stories about Michael Brown in Ferguson, or Eric Garner in Staten Island, or other African Americans who have been hurt or killed by police officers, what do you think when you see those stories? What do you think the problem is?
We knew when we went into other cases. For example, we tried the Roy Oliver case, and we were able to successfully get a guilty verdict And as I indicated earlier, there had been no guilty verdict in Dallas County in 45 years.
This is Roy Oliver, by the way, former police officer who shot and killed Jordan Edwards, who was an unarmed black 15-year-old.
Yes, yes. And we prosecuted that case. That killing was last year. And we tried him just recently. We got the guilty verdict, and it was a historic verdict. People rejoiced all over not just all over the country, but all over the world. And you know why they did that? They did that because of all the cases you just mentioned. So many people had had their day in court, and those officers were found not guilty. And people were really losing faith in the criminal justice system, because that's exactly what they were saying. Hey, is there any justice in America? And that's not that I speak to those cases. I just speak to the fact that we tried a case and we were able to get a guilty verdict, not for manslaughter, but for murder. And we will continue to bring justice, because we're just simply saying is that we want equal justice for everybody, and we don't want anyone to have favoritism over one citizen over another. That's just my commitment.
So why a manslaughter charge and not a murder charge for Officer Geiger?
That's what you need to ask the Texas Rangers. They came out without arrest. You got to remember, we had nothing to do with the charges or the arrest, because we're not the arresting agency. We are the prosecution. We're the one who is preparing this case for the grand jury. The grand jury comes back with whatever they come back with. We're going to present the law to them. We're going to present the facts to them. So we're asking the citizens of Dallas County, just be patient. We're putting everything we got. This case is a priority for me, and we're going to get there.
I want to ask you one more thing, which is, the nation's eyes turned to Dallas just 2 years ago in July of 2016 when 5 police officers were shot by someone who was very upset about police shootings of black men. Is that still resonating in Dallas, or what kind of a difference do you think that made?
Yeah, no, people are still concerned about that. Yes, that will be with us for a long time. We won't ever forget that. Because as I said to you, we support our police officers. That our police officers, when you really think about what they do, they put their lives on the line every single day. And unfortunately, you have a few bad apples, and we're going to make certain that justice is done.
That's Faith Johnson, who is the district attorney for Dallas County, Texas. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. God bless you.
To really...
Okay, so now we getting a bigger picture of what's really going on. Everything is at a freeze, and because I did that last video I did about the pandering politician, the one who went up in the church. They worried about getting votes. So I say it again, she wants that black vote, and she's saying to the black folks, you can look at all these cases all through the United States. Why y'all asses even being ungrateful? That's what they really saying. But she wants that vote, because our vote, if enough of us vote, can change the dynamics of everything. Okay, I did let y'all know she a Republican. And we do know that these politicians are one and the same. But when you usually see a black Republican, they really are deep down trenched in they cooning. You heard that she said she loved the police. Oh yeah, she said that. You got to go back and listen to that again. So anyway, this next video. So, she's, okay, let me read this to y'all. No, I'm not going to read it just yet. Okay, the candidate that's running with her is Democratic candidate for District Attorney John Crustoe. That's the best that I could pronounce his name. And then I'm going to read something deep to y'all. So check this out. What I'm getting ready to show y'all is an event that Faith Johnson and John Crustoe came to talk to some people. So check this out. This is real deep.
Single topic, police shootings, dominated tonight's forum for Dallas County District Attorney candidates. Hello, everybody. I'm Heather Hayes.
And I'm Brandon Todd. It's 9 o'clock. Republican incumbent Faith Johnson and Democrat challenger Judge Creuzot explained their stance on prosecuting officer-involved shootings. And the recent deadly shooting of Botham Jean by off-duty Dallas officer Amber Geiger was discussed at length. Jean's family and activists have said Geiger should be charged with murder.
Now, the Texas Rangers charged her instead with manslaughter, and Fox 4's Allison Harris joining us now in studio with more on the forum. Allison.
Heather and Brandon, moments before the Meet the Candidates event in Fair Park, Dallas District Attorney Faith Johnson released a statement about the Botham Jean case, urging people to have faith and patience in the process, stating that the DA's office is now lead on the case and there is no timetable to impanel a grand jury. The first question asked of the two candidates tonight: what is your approach to deadly killings by police officers? The DA responded immediately with a name: Roy Oliver, the Balch Springs police officer convicted of murdering Jordan Edwards.
I will not tolerate anybody who's going to break the law, and that includes police officers. For the first time in history, in 45 years, a police officer has been convicted of murder, not manslaughter, murder here in Dallas. And people all over the world are rejoicing with us. They couldn't get that conviction in New York. They couldn't get it in California. They couldn't get it in Ohio. They couldn't get it in Florida. They got it right here in Dallas County.
Johnson, the Republican incumbent, continued to tout that guilty verdict, saying it is her job to make sure that justice is equal for everyone. She says she knows there's a negative image of not just her office, but of law enforcement in general, saying all over America, people are mad. They want justice and equality. People are fed up. Her Democrat opponent, retired Judge John Creuzot, responded to the same question about police killings by saying that if the Constitution is good for you and me, it ought to be good for the police, don't you think? He referred to people to the statements he's made about the Botham Jean killing on his Facebook page, in which he suggests that Dallas police officer Amber Geiger is benefiting from leniency, as she is charged with manslaughter, not murder. He went on to criticize how his opponent, DA Faith Johnson, has handled the case thus far, including the release of the results of a search warrant on Botham Jean's apartment.
She just got through telling you that that thing can be sealed for 30 days. But it wasn't. But it wasn't. It was released immediately. And your premise about denigrating the victim is very likely correct. I don't really know what's going on in somebody's mind, but when you read the way the affidavit for arrest warrant was written, and you look at all that, as my friends have said, it looked like a defense lawyer wrote it.
The DA did not address whether her office attempted to seal the search warrant evidence. The DA told police at the event that vigorous prosecution will take place.
All right, my royal family. So, one more thing here. So, this article here, they wanted to put something here. They did an update on this article. They added this in. They said here, in our story, we reported that the Democratic candidate for district attorney, John Creuzot, forgive me, I'm jacking that up, criticized incumbent Republican District Attorney Faith Johnson for her handling of Botham Jean's shooting, including the release of the results of the return on the search warrant on Botham Jean's apartment. We want to clarify that the District Attorney did not release the results of the return on the search warrants. That document is public record and it cannot be sealed. They a fucking lie. And I'm going to tell you why they a fucking lie. Remember, these people can do whatever they want to do and they showing it to us. Now, when they dealing with us, they'll put all our business in the street and everything. But when they dealing with the enemy, if they choose to do it, like I said, they'll pencil the law in and out. Don't come with us with that shit. So this is, like I said again, this is, they in the middle of election season. I was not aware of the fact that this damn Sally is trying to maintain her position, but she's playing two ends against the middle. She want the black vote and she want the white vote, but she don't want to piss off white people. So if you come down too harsh on this bitch that murdered our royal son, she knows she gonna ruffle the feathers of white folks. Because we already know what the whole damn planet, as far as I'm concerned, is utterly racist and have a deep hatred for us. But we look at the bigger picture. Oh, you come down hard on a little old sweet innocent Becky, you know, like I said, when she thought she was in her apartment, she seen 100-foot tall big husky in the silhouette, and she had to do what she had to do. And it's like, just was a big mistake. So this case, literally, even though they saying they investigating and stuff like that, they frozen. And so how they dealing with it is, well, we don't have anything to do with anything. The Rangers, that's on them. No, y'all can snatch that shit back right now if y'all want it and put it in your lap. So this scum behind the scenes is playing us. Is playing us. She low down and dirty. Anytime you see politicians, any black person with a top position, they didn't hurt a lot of their own unquote people and didn't deal with them fairly, even if they committed a crime. Because, you know, you want to always give the enemy a break, you know. That's how they do that. Everything is about race in this country. So they're going to vote in November 6th. And then we will really see how they're going to proceed on with this case. Because Miss Sally here worried about her position. Now, seeing that an unquote Democratic is running for that position, I'm pretty sure she might continue to hold on her seat, because that's a Republican state, period. Outright. We know how they get down south. But this don't just put this shit all on down south. This is how they operate throughout this unquote shithole. So the picture is much deeper and bigger than I even thought. So anyway, my royal family, I have here an article that's dated December 2016. I'm going to put it here and y'all can read more about her and her background and her blah, 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 blah. And that's basically it, my royal family. And then let me go back here. Let me see here. You know how they be doing them polls, but they be fake polls. I just wanted to see if that was there. So like I said, I wasn't aware of that either, even though I kept saying it's election season. It's election season. I'm like, this bitch is trying to hold on to her job. So you look at her. Gangster. They gangsters. In suits and ties. You know? So this giving me even a bigger picture. So anyway, my royal family, render your voice with your beautiful, divine words. And as always, my royal family, I thank you for your love. I thank you for your support. And with that said, Ashe.